Hey, folks, this is Steve Vai, and you're listening to Tom and Zeus on Shout It Out Loudcast.
Shout it out loud, yeah. Shout it out loud, yeah. Shout it out loud, yeah. I like it.
The year is 1986. The album is The Ultimate Sin by the late, great Ozzy Osbourne. Welcome to episode 69 of the Album Review Crew, where we are going to be looking at this classic and sometimes polarizing album in the discography of the great Prince of Darkness. Shortly, we're going to be joined once again by the great Chris Jericho. But until then, Zeus, it's just me and you. What's up?
Yeah, this is Ozzy's third appearance.
Yeah.
But his first since we lost him.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Patreons picked this one this time.
Yes. And this is Chris's fourth appearance, Tom.
Yeah, I fucked up on our intro because that's how much I blocked out the Poison episode.
How did you forget number one bad boy?
I just that's such a scar on my brain for that.
Last time was my pick. I chose Rainbow Rising.
Yep.
So, go ahead, Tom. We did the poll. How'd that go?
Yes, we did. So we did Rainbow Rising with Eddie Trunk, back-to-back Shout Out Loudcast Hall of Famer Zeus on ARC. Yeah, that's right. Ooh, goddamn, episode 69. Ooh. So the poll was best song off of Rainbow Rising. There's only 6 of them, so we went with Stargazer, Tarot Woman, Starstruck, and Light in the Black. No surprise, Stargazer pummels the poll here with 74%. Light in the Black at 7, Tarot Woman at 6, and Starstruck at 13. I read that wrong because I'm blind. So, yeah, we got Stargazer, Starstruck, Light in the Black, Tarot Woman. No surprise there. Stargazer was going to curb stomp anybody in this poll. Our buddy Steve says Stargazer has to be something pretty special to stand out on such a classic album. Our buddy John Gross, Stargazer should be pretty black and white. The whole album is great, but Stargazer is a whole different level. Marcel Bremer says, I'm voting a Light in the Black, those drums. Yeah, I love that. Stargazer is just too good, but Light in the Black should not be slept on at all. Let's look at a couple episode-related comments here. Another Shout It Out Loudcast Hall of Famer, our buddy Nige Savage. The word masterpiece gets thrown around too easily, but here it's 100% justified. Apart from Do You Close Your Eyes, every single moment on this album is elite-tier classic rock brilliance. I was at the show in Birmingham in 2016. It definitely had highs and lows, but Stargazer was wow. Lawrence Majori says, I'm lucky to have seen this tour in London. Holy shit, you are friggin' lucky. Good God. Zeus, let's keep moving along. That's what we got for Twitter this week. What do you got on the Book of Face for Stargazer? Or Rainbow Rising, I should say.
Yeah. So we did get some good comments here on our Facebook page.
Yep.
Hall of Famer Anthony Barone says, yeah, Dio. Hall of Famer Gary Capp.
Jeez, this is like the star-studded episode here.
Stargazer is one of the most epic metal songs I really got into. The orchestra parts, along with Cozy Powell's drumming, makes this song a classic. Well said.
Yep.
Mark Flores Music. Love Mark. Bias against Blackmore explained. You ever notice all the critics who worship talking heads, television, and Patti Smith like so they true. Pretend that Kiss never existed? It's because while they were all in the clubs getting high and trying to look cool, Gene and Paul were working their asses off and ended up eclipsing them all. The critics can't admit that a worldwide phenomenon was right under their nose, and they missed it. Same with Blackmore. Page, Clapton, and Beck were blues players in a scene the Stones pioneered amidst the sweeter pop of the Beatles. Meanwhile, Blackmore was creating a musical vocabulary that meshed classical key changes, chromatic scales to create a sound that never been heard before.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Rolling Stone magazine was telling everybody how amazing the Grateful Dead were. They totally missed it and can't admit it. While everyone chased the Beatles, Flower Power, and Hendrix psychedelia, Blackmore held his ground, stayed true to his ideas, and blazed a trail that brought us Randy Rhoads and Dio. The critics who pretend Blackmore isn't great alongside Beck, Page, and Clapton are the same guys trying to convince us that Yoko Ono is a misunderstood genius. Long live rock and roll, long live Tom and Zeus. God, this is why I love Mark. He's awesome. And he knows his music.
Yeah, we don't do comment of the week or comment of the month for ARC, but that was spectacular. Good stuff, Mark.
He's always hitting it out of the park.
Oh,
we
yeah.
love you, brother. That was awesome.
Yep.
All right. Kevin Smith says Stargaze, the most epic songs in the history of rock and roll, not just metal. Chris Hall says, oh, the places you will go. Who would have thunk just a few short years ago? Big congrats on what you've done with this thing, boys. Well, appreciate that, Chris. Thank you. Lemmy Blackmore.
I love that.
Okay. An epic album and breakdown by Tom and Zeus. And Eddie. All Rainbow eras are great, but Rising is a statement from start to finish. If we were ranking performances on an album by Dio, Blackmore, Powell, and Bain, Raising would be top 2 or 3 at worst. For each of them, that's saying something. They all made a statement with this one. I'm happy to be part of the Patreon family now. I felt terrible if I hadn't joined before this review. Well, we appreciate you, Lemmy.
Good stuff. Love it.
Kyle Tona. I don't give a fuck that I mispelled mispronounced his name. Says, how many shitbow albums are we going to be reviewing? First of all, it's not we.
Shitbow? Yeah, first of all, it's not we. What podcast do you have where you review albums? Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I might get to them all because this is our show, and I like Rainbow. We might get to them all.
Shitbow? That's like okay.
This is the thing I don't understand. So if you're listening to the show, you like this type of music, metal, hard rock.
Right.
Rainbow has all 3 different styles of hard rock, right? Traditional, straightforward hard rock is Graham Bonnet. Fucking Dungeons and Dragon metal kind of, right, from the Dio era. And then you got pop metal with JLT. They all suck to you?
I would love to know what the opposite of a rain, like in this guy. So he doesn't like Rainbow. Tell me, what would you prefer that we review? Tora? Because that's never happening.
I don't know. It's just funny because this falls into that wheelhouse, but to everybody, they're each their own. Anyway, Tom, let's go to Loudcasters.
Okay.
I'm going to try to be quick because there's a ton of comments here. The great Frank Anzalone. Hell yeah. Great album. Great special guest.
Special what?
Yeah, I don't know how an anonymous guy got in here, Tom, but
we don't
wait
a minute
because we got to get rid of that shit because we don't let anonymous people talk.
I thought we got rid of that feature. Well,
yeah, I think this came out first. It's anonymous to everyone else, but we see who it is. Don't use anonymous on our page. We don't allow anybody else. So please fix that if you want to be part of the group. Charlie Reisner says, excellent album. Joey Romanek writes this real long thing about like Iron Maiden and how like the people in Rainbow are just not like Maiden and Metallica. And he starts naming songs like Hallowed Be Thy Name, Revelations, Rhythm of Ancient Mariner, Alexander the Great, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Listen, if you're going to start naming Iron Maiden songs, name the good ones. Okay? Name the better ones. How's that? I shouldn't say good.
Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner is like 12 minutes of the Chinese water torture. That song's terrible.
And he just writes, oh, those Rainbow songs are 8 minutes, same apart. I just listened to the record. They don't go anywhere. What do you mean go anywhere?
What does that mean?
Yeah. So I wrote, does like Detroit Rock City go somewhere? Does When the Levee Break? Paranoid? Won't Get Fooled Again? Hotel California?
Where do you want it to go?
Numb? Like it's just you're just using things and phrases just to be difficult. You don't like the music. You don't like the music. Don't tell me it doesn't go anywhere. That's why. Come on.
Yeah.
Because Def Leppard's Photograph, that didn't really go anywhere.
Song doesn't really go anywhere. It doesn't make me feel anything. It doesn't take me to
go. What does that mean?
What's up with these shitbo albums?
Dude, you get out of your fucking cul-de-sac manager meetings, okay?
Your HOA meetings.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, John Whiteman writes, I was scrolling through my timeline, saw a fist holding a rainbow. Thought this was something different entirely. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I get his joke. Yep. I wasn't familiar with the album at all, and I still prefer JLT's Rainbow. But Stargazer rips and definitely belongs on the short list of perfect songs.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Kenner writes, what an epic pick, Sue. So glad to see Ronnie James Dio appearance. I remember being a kid around 84 and playing skeet ball at an arcade, winning tickets and going to cash them in. I saw this cool pin on button with Dio image, and I was blown away and had to find out who that was. Yeah, that's easy. That's our buddy Jeff Kindley in Canada. You probably saw.
Yeah, that's Dio. He's just a little bit taller.
Yeah, exactly. I eventually found out, listen, everything Dio up to that point. Rising is a badass album, start to finish. Sure, it's not a perfect album, but the way the band meshed with Dio and the overall effect, it was staggering. Thanks for an awesome trip down memory lane. Oh, you're welcome.
Nice.
The great Joe Decker. Every once in a while, an album comes along that can't be described with words. It must be listened to. This is one of those albums, an absolute masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Joe. Pete Starrow's great album, great band. Dio rocks. Eric Salmon writes, Rising is a classic. You guys always cause me to order more CDs. I just ordered a Rainbow compilation, and I just had a reply. That's the mission of ARC.
I love that.
You.
Yep.
That is so cool to hear. And it's not because it's my album. You could say that, like, I never listened to Rush. And when we did a Rush album that Tom picked, that moved you and you needed to buy it. That's awesome. That's all we ask, right? So that's fantastic. I'm going to move on over now, Tom, to your favorite, Blue Sky.
Oh, okay.
John McQueen Scott, legendary album, Stargazer's the greatest song ever written.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Matt Murphy. This was a real fun episode. It's a record I have a strong feeling about, and it was cool to hear what your thoughts were. Do you guys remember that song Tony Carey video MTV used to show all the time? A fine, fine day for a reunion. Eddie brought it up. I didn't even heard of it. I don't remember it at all.
No, me neither.
So that's interesting.
Yep.
All right, let's move over to YouTube. Thanis 23, which I think is the Greek Thunder from Down Under. The best of the Dio era albums. I agree with that statement. Flawless album, memorable tunes with powerful earworms throughout. Great choice, Zeus. Now for Bent Out of Shape. Stay tuned. We might get to another shitbo album. Oh, God. Liz Natch or Snatch? I have no idea.
Snatch?
I don't fucking know. Awesome pick. Stargaze and Light in the Black are all time. Surprised you didn't rate the album artwork higher. Rising and Hear the Dog had to be the two greatest cover art albums. Great episode. All right. Pete Starros adds, love this album. Anything by Dio, I can't get enough. Can't get enough of your love. I love that song. But anyways, and then I'll end with this one. Pete Gibbons. Guys, don't kill me. And I'm not trying to be the I'm too cool douchebag guy. There's plenty of them on this.
There's plenty of those. Don't worry. We'll let you know if you are.
Yeah. I don't get the Stargazer love. Ooh. I'm 51, been into hard rock metal my whole life and never understood the way people gush over the song. Rising's a great album. It's a really good song. But A Light in the Black is, to me, the standout track on the album. I've listened to it for years to understand how people say it's the best rock song ever written. I just don't see it. Again, I've heard it for 30 years. So I don't know what I'm talking about or I'm a jack-off, but true. I just don't get it. But I get your show, and I love that all, so please keep coming. Can't wait to see how bad I get ripped for this. You don't.
You don't get ripped. You know why? Because you have an informed opinion, and you're stating your case. There's nothing wrong with your opinion.
And the fact that you're like, yeah, I'm not trying to be a dick here. You know, there's a problem with that. Dude, I don't get Tom is not a fan of fucking Ozzy's voice.
Right.
Tom doesn't get how I just don't like Rush. He doesn't get it.
No, I get it. But I know what you, but oh yeah, Geddy Lee is not for everybody. Trust me, I get it. look, not every.
But I get that people don't like Stephen Pearcy and Rat. His voice is distinctive.
Same
I
thing.
love it.
Yeah, I get it.
But I don't get how you don't like Ozzy or the Scorpions. I don't get that.
The Scorpions are fine. They just have that little German guy kind of annoys me.
I know a little German, and he's right over there.
He's right over there. Say hello, Klaus.
But anyway, we're not going to kill you for it. You just don't like it.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay to not like everything that somebody else likes. It's okay not to like fucking strawberry ice cream and like chocolate ice cream. Who cares?
Yeah, what's up with the shit bowl ice cream flavors?
We got to put that with everything from here on
That
out.
might be.
Are we doing another shit Jovi fucking album here today?
Can we get some new T-shirts? Hey, shitbo!
Oh, great! You're reviewing another shit-talica fucking album.
Oh, great! Shit in the Dark by Ozzy. Great song.
And I took a shit in the dark.
Jeez, that gives me a great idea.
Turn out the lights. I'm a little shy. Dude, we can't be doing Ace and fucking
Ace finds his way.
We'll
to
never get
ARC.
anything done. When you going to review my album that I did Genghis Khan on? Not anytime soon, brother.
No.
Anyways, Tom, that's what I have.
All right, let's take a look at a couple comments here from Spotify. As we like to remind everybody, you can comment directly on episodes in Spotify. B Mills 33. Tony Carey has a solo album called Some Tough City, which isn't too bad at all. He had an MTV video called The First Day of Summer. Okay, I guess a lot of people are Tony Carey tards here. I don't know that. Let's move over to Instagram here. See, I can't because it's all one word. I don't know if this is Cremonti Marco. I don't know where the words
Naga don't work anymore.
He says in all caps, the best hard rock album of all time.
Okay.
Rick Stoddard says, awesome. Great interview with Roger Glover. I don't think we did that, but okay. Jasky Jam, one of the best rock albums ever recorded. Alex 71 Art, masterpiece, one of the greatest songs. Only Vince, one of the best vocalists of all times. Chef Mike Vig, Light in the Black is top-notch. Richie. And then Do Drummer chimes in, overrated band and album. Okay. Really, thanks.
Okay. You got to write your opinion.
Yeah, okay. We'll finish up feedback here with an email from our good friend, longtime Loudcaster, Tony Smith. Excellent show with Eddie Trunk joining in. Always great to hear from him. And then he says, on a separate note, every time someone mentions the name Richie, my mind immediately goes to your show and I just crack up. Anybody seen Richie?
Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo?
I do the same thing, Tony. But yeah, thanks, my friend. Now, that's what we got for Rainbow Rising feedback this month.
All right. Let's take a quick little break. And when we come back, we'll welcome back Chris Jericho to the show for the fourth time on
Yes.
ARC.
So this month we're bringing back for the third time on Album Review Crew, wrestling superstar, frontman of Fozzy Kuarantine, but the most important accolade on his resume is that he's a Shout It Out Loudcast Hall of Famer.
Wow, I always forget that. Thank you.
How could you forget that? It's the great Chris Jericho, his third visit here.
Every time I look down and see my Shout Out Loudcast ring, it reminds me.
That's right.
Oh,
the
okay.
mail.
All right. Okay.
Something, yeah.
You
So
want to
what
get
were
like...
the- what were the
Get
other
like
two
an
that-
animalized print jacket, like the NFL Hall of Fame, instead of like a jacket, like a gold jacket. You'll get that.
What were the other two that we did?
Skid
Poison?
Row. No, we did Skid Row, Slave to the. Oh my God, that is horrifying looking.
Wait a minute. We did Poison with him.
No, we didn't. We did Skid
we did.
Row,
No, we
Slave to
did.
the.
No,
We
we
did
did.
Slave to the Grind and Vision Quest soundtrack.
No, I was look what the cat dragged in. I had
Thank
to get up
you.
early for that one.
So this is your fourth. So I'm wrong. So this is four.
Nice prep work. By the way, thanks. Hi, Paul.
Yeah, but you know what though? You want to know? You want to know why? Because Poison, Look What the Cat Dragged In, is horrendous. So I probably.
Yeah, it was all right. We had fun. It was early on a Saturday morning or something like that. I remember.
Yeah. Well, I apologize. That's not a reflection on Chris. It's a reflection on Poison.
But did I do Slave to the Grind? That's the one I don't
Yes,
recall.
you did.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Which will be
Yeah, see-
interesting when you see your buddy over in Vegas.
He won't. He'll avoid me at all costs.
You think?
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. or that he'll come up crying. One of the two.
There you go.
Are we going to have to edit that now?
No.
Who's my buddy? I thought you were talking about Red Cup Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just leave it at that. Let's move on.
Okay.
I'll pull a Paul Stanley. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
So what are we doing now, Tom? We're doing Ultimate Sin?
Yeah, thanks to the Patreon. We do a Patreon pick every rotation. So the Patreons voted Ozzy Ultimate Sin. The poll came out not long after Ozzy's passing, so it was no surprise that an Ozzy album was going to win. And we know our buddy Chris loves this album.
I do.
So
I do love this album, yeah.
What do we always do, Zeus? We always talk about how we got into this and stuff. So Chris, you're our guest. Talk to us about the first time you got this, heard it, kind of general thoughts before we get into the track by track and everything.
So the first time I met Jakey Lee, and I know him quite well now. Actually, I just had him on Talk is Jericho in the studio, which we'll be showing fairly soon. I was really excited to meet him. Obviously, Bark at the Moon is one of the greatest Ozzy songs of all time. I never thought the Bark at the Moon album was quite up to snuff with the first two. So when Ultimate Sin came out, and I'll never forget it because maybe it was like I had done well in school that year or something. I went and I went out with my mom, and she said you could buy a few things, and I bought Skeleton Crew by Stephen King, which is a short story collection.
Good. Yep.
And Ultimate Sin. And I remember we'll talk about the cover, et cetera, but that album just really struck me because much like the aforementioned Kiss or, Rush or Van Halen, Ozzy had done a really good job in staying in tune with the times. So people say Ultimate Sin is a pop. It's not. It is not a pop-up. Is it a little bit more glossy than the first three? Absolutely. Because they're using, modern techniques. They're using, I think it was Ron Nevison producing it. Obviously Crazy Nights and Heart and all that sort of stuff. It is such a great record. The melodies, the hooks, Jake's guitar playing is second to none. We just did, I did what's the other show that we always do all the time with the boys? Pot of Thunder.
Oh yeah.
And we did I think Shot in the Dark, and one of the guys, Chris L, hadn't really listened to it much, and he's a guitar player. I said, go listen to it. About a week later, he's like, dude, this is the most immaculate guitar playing of the era. So I just look back, it is still a standout favorite Ozzy record of mine, probably number 4 on the list, maybe even number 3, neck and neck with No More Tears. Stands up to this day, and anybody who hasn't heard it, listen to it. Anybody who has heard it, you can put it on at any time, and it still fits into what we like to listen to here in 2025. To put it briefly.
No, that's okay. Zeus, you want to go?
Yeah, so Ultimate Sin, again, when I got into hard rock and metal, I had the older cousin, Crazy Mike. He had Ozzy on his wall, so it was one of those, oh my God, Ozzy. So I remember Ozzy, I remember Kiss, and Ozzy was just in a place for himself. But Ozzy now with Ultimate Sin was an album now. I didn't have older cousins or brothers getting me into it. I got into it. Shot in the Dark is one of those quintessential heavy metal, hard rock videos on MTV that just stayed with me. And watching that video meant I got the album. I listened to the album. I bought it when it came out. I really liked the album. Growing up later as you mature and you learn more about music, I'm not, here's a little spoiler. It's not as good as his first couple albums. I still think it's got a place. I enjoyed listening to it, and I really, really like Jake. Randy's probably my favorite guitarist, but I think Jakey Lee doesn't get the credit he deserves. He had to fill some big-ass shoes.
Yeah.
And I think he has his own identity, and he did well, and I wish Ozzy and them would give him more credit because he deserves it. And the only thing I'm going to say is thanks to Chris Jericho, I got to meet a disheveled Jakey Lee.
A disheveled stumbling in at 3 a.m.
Where he kept hinting to us, oh, come downstairs. You're going to like what you're going to see. Well, we got thrown out of the bar upstairs on the Gene event, went downstairs, and we're like, who is this homeless guy coming up to us? And all of a sudden we're like, holy shit, that's Jakey Lee. Yeah. And yes, we were with the previously mentioned Red Cup Jeff at the time.
Yes,
that's right. Yeah. Yeah. So for me, I've talked to Zeus about this a lot. My Ozzy fandom kind of stopped right at Diary because I love because I love Sabbath with Ozzy and Sabbath with Dio too. But I absolutely, like everybody, love Blizzard and love Diary. And then my musical taste changed a little bit, so I started getting into a lot more of the the 80s Kiss and then like the pop metal stuff. And Ozzy just didn't. I know, Chris, you said it when you were talking. Like, for me, Ozzy just didn't fit this era. I want like dark Ozzy. I don't want pop metal glam Ozzy. So we talk about this a lot on ARC. It's like that's not what I want from them. Like, sometimes when Kiss, like, some people don't like Carnival of Souls because it's like Kiss doing grunge. It's like, that's not what I want from Kiss. Like, this is not what I want from Ozzy. Now, that being said, we'll get it when we do the tracks and stuff. Like, Jakey Lee is just on another level on this album.
I do find it being dark at times, though. I think there's a lot of areas of this album that are very dark, and I think, once again,
lyrically, yes, lyrically, yeah.
There's some haunting moments.
Yep.
Musically as well. So I think, once again, it's one of those ones, and this happens all the time when we do the classic album clashes, which you guys have done with me before. I think we have,
We did Rat.
When you start getting into the trenches a bit more, you start realizing maybe it wasn't what you remember or what you think at first.
Yeah, I think for me, I've said this before about kind of the problems that I have with Ozzy, and I know this sounds surface level, but it's really the big deal for me. It's just vocally. I just think a lot of these songs that we're going to get into, I think Ozzy, for me personally, I think his vocals serve better doing that dark Sabbath, doing that dark Blizzard, I just think the melodic anthemic type choruses that we're going to hear on this record, for me, that's not Ozzy's strength. And clearly it's of the time. He's doing what Kiss did. He's fitting in with what this era was going on.
And this album was also very successful as a result. And I would say that a lot of that has to do with Sharon and the guys in the band, Jake's playing and stuff. But you're right. This is not dark, early Ozzy, Sabbath Ozzy. But in 1986, when this came out, had he put out that record, he might not have. Who knows? Like, he was
you're 100%
good at being able to morph with the times, and this one brought him even higher. I mean, he was touring legit big arenas, which he was not doing on the last three records.
No, you're so right. And you look at, like you mentioned, Ron Nevison. Ron Nevison did Heart, Survivor, Crazy Night, very poppy, accessible, borderline like pop albums. And you could see that coming through. But that being said, we'll get into it. Jakey Lee is just on another level, just on another level on this album. I mean, sonically, it's spectacular.
Yeah, his choices as a player are tremendous.
Oh, exactly.
Let's get into the cover.
Ooh, Chris, go ahead.
Okay, so once again, buying this cover. I mean, let's be honest. The chick on the front cover has a great ass.
I was just gonna say that.
And as a 15-year-old boy, you're like, oh my gosh. And you think it's just artwork, but then the Shot in the Dark video, it's the same girl. And yes, she really does have a great ass. Ozzy looks really dumb as like this weird mutated dragon guy.
Yeah.
But once again, in 1986, it kind of fit. But if it wasn't for, and it's not just her derriere, it's her whole persona. She's like kind of got demonic eyes, and she's kind of controlling this reptilian dragon Aussie creature, nuclear war type thing, which was all the rage in 86. So is it the best cover? No. Is it still very memorable and cool, especially for the times? Yes, I'd say so.
Oh yeah. Totally. Zeus.
So it's done by somebody named Boris Vallejo.
Oh, can I fill in here? Boris,
yeah, please.
I didn't know that. I was this many days old so I used to read these magazines called Creepy Magazine. Mm-hmm. And they used to have these amazing covers of like these barbarians with all these half naked chicks, almost like Love Gun cover. And Boris Vallejo was the guy who did all this. He was a famous fantasy artist. And if you go to Comic Cons, I think he's still alive. You'll always see the Boris and Frank Frazetta. Frank Frazetta and Boris Vallejo were the two guys that did that sort of thing. So I never knew that was a Boris Vallejo. That's a very famous guy in this genre.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, he did movie covers too. That's what he's famous for. These scenes and stuff like that. So he did stuff like Barbarian's Queen. He did National Lampoon's Vacation.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Vacation.
Actually, that makes sense. You think of that
right? Because look at it, right?
Yeah, that art style and that painting. Yeah.
It says that he did stuff for Tarzan, Conan the Barbarian stuff.
Yep.
I love the cover. I think it's fucking awesome. Ozzy's got kind of like a wink wink. He's not evil in this one. He's kind of like a character, almost like an Eddie where it's a smirk on his face. But yeah, that girl looks crazy on that. And then when you see the videos, and we'll get to those videos where she's in both of them. So
Oh, wow.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. I think
there's actually 3 of them. Did you know there's a video for Lightning Strikes as well?
Oh God!
Wow.
When we get to that, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But the cover, one of the reasons I love it, obviously, I love the artwork. It's reminiscent of something that Kiss did in the '70s with Destroyer and Chris mentioned Love Gun. But I love it because it's not a picture of Ozzy. I don't want to see a photo of Ozzy like he did later on. Or I love these kind
Sears portrait kind of photo.
I love this kind of like painting artwork. Like, because in the '80s, especially this time, Chris, I'm sure you guys will agree. A lot of bands were taking photos of themselves, like Poison, Cinderella, like Kiss. It was like, band photos of being outrageous looking. I just think this is incredible. And the nuclear bomb cloud over to the side and everything. It's incredibly detailed too. The way her hair goes up and becomes like a cloud. Yeah, it's
funny too because Ozzy was a monster on the album cover prior of Bark at the Moon, where he's dressed as a werewolf. So this one, it's not a live picture, but he went from werewolf to like mutated, radioactive dragon baby.
Right.
So yeah, whatever.
It's cool. It's definitely cool.
Yeah.
All right. So let me give you some quick facts. Ultimate Sin released in the US January 24th, 86, February 10th in UK 86. Ron Nevison produced, and it went double platinum. It went up to number 6 on Billboard, which at the time was his highest.
That's huge. Yeah.
Yeah. His highest debuted album. It's this 4th album, last with Jake, first with Randy Castillo, and only with Phil Soussan. Last to feature the Ozzy logo, that famous Ozzy logo.
Really?
Yeah. Until
that's
Scream.
Interesting.
Yeah. Until Scream.
Yeah,
I remember
until Scream.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember doing like the Led Zeppelin, Ozzy, the
Van Halen, Kiss, all those logos.
Kiss, all the logos on your notepads.
Yep.
And basically, this album came out as Ozzy just got out of Betty Ford, all fucked up, and Jake presented him with, "Here's the music I've got for you."
Wow.
The lyrics were done basically by, once again, the only one who does all his lyrics, Bob Daisley.
Yeah.
Ozzy obviously gets credit later, but and this time Jake held up. He's like, "I'm not giving you this shit unless you give me writing credits and I think publishing rights," which obviously we know that's a famous Ozzy Sharon kind of move, and they didn't get it. Again, Bob did most of the lyrics. He didn't actually play on this album. It was that guy Greg Chason that played, and he was the guy that he did all the demos and worked on the stuff. But he was the guy that went into Badlands with Jake later.
With Jake, that's right.
Okay.
So wait, so Phil Soussan never played on this?
The demos and stuff when they presented it
Gotcha.
to Ozzy. So and then Sharon kicked him out because they said he didn't fit the image. So basically, Daisley and Chason were not credited originally for any songwriting contributions, but Bob did get it later.
Yeah.
Originally, the album was going to be called Killer of Giants.
Yep.
After that song, it's his higher charting studio, as I said, up to that point. And then we get into the part where Ozzy basically says it's one of his least favorite albums. And he said he would like to see it get remixed or done better, blaming Nevison. He didn't really do a great job, production job. The songs weren't bad. They were just put down weird. Everything felt and sounded the fucking same. There was no imagination. That's what Ozzy said. And I remember seeing, and I forget where I heard you say it, Chris, and you brought up Paul too. You're like, what the fuck? Like these people like Paul and Ozzy shitting on stuff that I actually like as a fan. Like, what the fuck?
They always blame
I hate that.
The producer. You should have heard the original mixes. Yeah, I never understood that. I mean, Michael Sweet does that as well with Against the Law. And it's like, I love that record. I love this record, and it's all part of your catalog. Like I know with Fozzy, we have 8 records now. If someone said, the Do You Want to Start a War record was mixed like shit, and it's terrible, and I wish I could read, like, well, fuck, I like that album. So
Right.
I'm sorry for liking where you're at. I think sometimes guys listen to outside sources, and also too, things get listened to out of context. Whereas if you put this record on today and you'd never heard it, you'd go, oh, that's so polished and that's so smooth and slick. That's what was going on at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's just the way it was. So you can't bag on it because it was a product of its time, because that was what, at the time, this is what was really sounded great.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't be mad at that.
Yeah, and it's never even been like officially. I'm like a vinyl geek, so whenever we do ARC, if I don't own the album, I try to seek it out and get a copy of it. You can't get it.
Really?
It has not been official. It has not. Yeah, it has not been officially repressed. Really? Or I mean, there might be like a box set or like a set that you can get. But in terms of an individual repressing, like a 180 gram vinyl or something, you can't get it. The only thing you can get is the original pressings, or there might be like a 1990 or 89 pressing that came out for like $200 on like Discogs. I'm like, it's not that.
Well,
good.
If I still have my record collection, I'd gladly give you my Ultimate Sin vinyl, Tom.
Oh, well, I appreciate that, Chris, and I would listen to it too.
I would give it to you, trust me. They're long gone now, but I did have it on LP.
Yeah.
One of the things I also heard is like that's why a lot of the songs on this aren't on a lot of his greatest hits. He won't put them on. So,
well, I mean, Shot in the Dark kind of made it through.
That's the only one.
He was playing that even up until the only show that Fozzy and Ozzy ever did was at Aftershock in Sacramento. And I looked at the set list after he passed away, and he even played Shot in the Dark on that night. And that was 2017. And I think by the time 19 rolled around, his touring days were done. So he pretty much played it all the way to the end and knew that it was a big hit. And I'm glad he did, because it was a great tune. It is a great
I agree.
I'm wondering if he doesn't like the album as much as he doesn't like the way he looks in the videos. Or
like the times, though, right?
But you're right. But I'm wondering if he looks back on it, and I wonder if he and I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent, but I wonder if he looks at it kind of like the way I do, where it's like he looks at it and is like, yeah, that's not what I wanted to be doing back then in 1987. I don't like that record. But to your point, Chris. You did that. That's the same thing when Paul shits on his records.
Yeah.
Like that's what people were doing.
I never look back and go, boy, they look stupid. I mean, I think Ozzy looks great because that's what looked great. I thought he looked cool in 1986. And I think he looks cool now for 1986, you know? So it's easy, like you said, to go back and bag on yourself. Oh, look at my hair, or look at this, or look at the other thing. At the times, it was the shit and everyone thought it was fucking cool. So just let it go at that, please.
I agree.
Yeah, it's tough because Ozzy in that video and stuff, but I honestly think it has a lot to do with where he was in his life, personal life.
Probably
he had a lot of shit drinking because he went right back to boozing again right after it. So he's coming out of Betty Ford Clinic. He probably has no idea they've thrown him this shit. Maybe he just felt like I didn't really have my input on a lot of this, and that's why he's bagging on it. So he didn't give his 100% effort into it. I don't know. And then he got back into fucking drinking
I don't
drugs
think
again.
that at all. I think that he was having a great time. I think it was a great record that went double platinum and got to number 6 on the charts with a hit single that was on MTV every day. I think he probably thought this is pretty fucking cool, man. You know, that's what I think he thought. And when he's on tour, he's got the hottest freaking band opening up for him that then becomes the biggest metal band of all time in Metallica.
That's right.
In the summer of 86, that was the tour. Yep. I had tickets for it in Vancouver, and the night of the show, the day of the show, the gig got canceled because Ozzy was sick.
Oh.
And I remember thinking,
Sick.
like, well, can't the other 3 guys just go play, and can't I see Metallica? That's what I want to see.
Chris, that reminds me real quick. That reminds me of a show getting canceled when Metallica was touring with Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
I think it was 92. They were doing stadium tours 92. In support of the Black Album, The Use Your Illusion. And that's when James had that burn incident. Yeah. Remember where and part of the tour got canceled, and it was the one at Foxborough Stadium that got canceled. Yeah. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, it was in Montreal, so they're probably coming through Montreal and coming down.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, well, Ozzy didn't get blown up. I think he was just too hungover that day.
Yeah, exactly.
He was too busy choking out Sharon in one of his crazy delusions. All right, guys, let's go to the first song, the title track. Here we go.
Let's do it. So we start off with the title track, The Ultimate Sin. Great intro here with the drums, the pounding kind of tribal kind of rhythm there. And then right off the bat, I mean, Jakey's tone. I mean, this is right up there for me, and I know Zeus will agree with me, and Chris, I'm sure you will too. This is right up there with me with those 80s tones of like a George Lynch or a Warren DeMartini. Like this right off the, if you didn't know that this was an Ozzy record, you would think this is something Dawkins and Rad are putting out right here. Just killer riff, killer groove, and then Ozzy comes in and has to sing it, but that's okay. But I think this is a great song. I'm surprised this wasn't released as like a single or a bigger hit, because I think this track, and especially the chorus and Jakey's solo, I think this was a surprise to me. I think I may have failed to mention this. We were talking about this. I have never owned this album, and I have never listened to this album start to finish until we're doing this review right here. So I don't know a lot of these songs.
Oh wow! So you did not grow up with this record then?
Never. No.
You don't know this song? You didn't know this song?
I've heard. No. I know this. No. I know this particular song, but I don't know it. It's like not ingrained in me. So when I heard it in preparation for this, I was like, "Shit, this is good."
It even makes me laugh when you say, and then Ozzy has to come in and sing. You're talking about one of the greatest fucking rock and roll singers of all time.
Thank you.
And I won't even accept anything else. That his range is so high. He's so distinctive. You might not like the way he sings, but you can't bag on his vocals. It's like bagging on Geddy Lee. You might not like the way he sings.
Don't.
But
don't tell Zeus that.
Yeah. Oh. I love Geddy Lee as well, but
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Chris. Yeah. I get it.
I'll just go next. I'm always a big fan of when there's a new guy in the band that you showcase him.
Yes.
And it's not a lot, but I love the fact that they have a new drummer in Randy Castillo, who's one of the greats in the Ozzy camp for sure. And it's not a super hard beat, the dun, 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 but then it's like, I was like, wow, right from the start, hooked, fished in, you know?
Yep.
I also, this is another one that we spoke about, cause Jake played this back to the beginning, Ozzy's last show, and doubled it with Nuno Betancourt, because Jake just got shot. As you guys know, he's still getting his feet back. But him and Nuno played it together because it's an intricate solo. Nuno was like, I'll do it with you, motherfucker, but it's going to take me a few days to figure it out. I also love the lyrics. I also, you took advantage of things that I said. Now the feeling is dead, and that's the ultimate sin. The ultimate sin is not listening to each other. The ultimate sin is not paying attention to your brother, or your significant other. I thought that was kind of a cool thing. I really like this song for sure.
Me too. Yeah.
All right. So Ultimate Sin, all the songs are credited to Ozzy, Bob Daisley, and Jakey Lee, except for Shot in the Dark, and I'll get to that. Yeah. I'm going to echo a lot what you guys are saying, the drum opening, and then that fucking Jake riff. That riff is awesome. It's heavy. It reminds me of, and I think they took off it a little bit, of No More Tears riff. Dun, 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 dun. That No More Tears riff seems like it took off from this Ultimate Sin riff. I love it. I think it's great. That solo that he does,
incredible.
Jake does that 80s great, like Warren DeMartini kind of solo, where the solo comes in, kicks ass, and goes right back into the riff. And he does it in, he holds that fucking note, and he holds it, and then the riff comes back in.
It's awesome.
Oh, it's just fucking awesome. I think I wrote it down. It was so good. The 208 mark.
It's almost a little funky. Like, I'm just thinking about it. It was like dong 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 ding 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 ding. Like, you can see Nile Rodgers playing that shit.
Oh, it's just I think that it's a great way to start off the song, and it's one of those things where if you like, God damn it, he has great title tracks except for Blizzard of Oz. When you think of No More
there
Tears,
isn't one,
right?
Diary of a Madman.
Diary of a Madman, Bark at the Moon, Ultimate Sin.
It's a good point.
These are great title tracks.
No Rest for the Wicked doesn't have one either.
Yeah, there you go.
Good point. Good point.
Scream does, right? The video, dude, we got to talk about this. So, have you seen? You remember the video? So it's Ozzy and like
J.R. Ewing.
Yeah, it's.
I was going to say Larry Hagman, like doing
even like the beginning scene is like the way that old soap opera was.
Yep.
And then he goes into like he sees like the concert performance and he sees himself performing the video, and he's wearing a fucking Mrs. Roper muumuu, whatever the fuck he's wearing.
It looks like something from like Striper.
The Striper, yellow and black,
like Mrs. Roper's wearing that. That is horrendous outfit. But he's in board meetings. He's taking his shoes off, and then the girl constantly appears in these visions, and then He goes into the limo and he turns it on. He's watching the video and rocking, and she pops up. And then finally he's at home resting poolside, throws the TV in, and then for some reason pushes her into the pool.
That's the best. That's the best.
Okay.
But I like how he kind of creeps up on her, like he's like this, like with the Aussie, and he just pushes the fucking pool.
Why do you push her into the pool? Like,
Yeah, but what was the name of the company he worked for? Ozzy Oil.
That's unique.
Oh, man.
Funny, so funny.
Any thoughts on the video?
I mean,
That's
once again, you're
just
talking
silly.
about 1986 where
Yeah.
cheese was at a premium. Whereas Kiss or Rat or Motley would have half naked chicks, Ozzy kills his by pushing her into an electrified pool,
So
which
true.
of course you can get away with back in those days. And it's a very Ozzy moment. But yeah, just with the stupid cowboy hat and stuff, it's preposterous. I love every song on this record. The videos, that one's pretty stupid, but whatever. It's Ozzy. Ozzy always said tongue in cheek, right? He never
course.
That's what I
took
love
too
about
seriously.
it.
Yeah.
Because you love him as a character. Like,
Yes.
it's Ozzy.
Yes.
Look at that. He's not like, grabbing the chick and making out with her. He throws her into the
He
pool.
throws her in the pool. That's more realistic. Like,
Yeah, where like you would watch Exposed and like Gene's like that's nice for daddy, and Paul's got the the Paul Stanley workout where Ozzy's just like, hey, he can't be bothered with that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
He's married, he's married, so let's just have some fun, right?
There you go. All right, let's go to track 2, Tom.
Secret Loser. So this is good. We speed it up a little bit from Ultimate Sin. Another incredible riff. And again, I guess I'll say this kind of right out of the way, and I kind of hinted at it earlier. Like, this is something that the two bands that came to mind, it's primarily because of the guitar tone, which I mentioned. This is Dawkins and this is Rat right here for me.
Yep, I had this.
This sounds like something that would probably come off of like Tooth and Nail, maybe. I mean, it's a, and I'm sorry, Chris, I don't mean to pile on. This is just not this is not Ozzy's strength. It's not that he's a bad vocalist, okay? It's just an upbeat, kind of peppy, melodic chorus. It's just not, I don't know. It's just not what I want to hear from Ozzy. But the song is that good that I really, really, really enjoy it. And I think the riff, the bridge into the chorus, and of course, Jakey, I think this is a great song. And again, I've never owned this album. I had never heard this song before until we started this preparation.
Why have you never owned this album? Are you an Ozzy fan or
No, that's what I mentioned earlier. I kind of cut off my Ozzy fandom at
After
Diary.
the first two, gotcha.
Diary was the last, other than the hits like, Bark at the Moon and Shot in the Dark
of
and
course.
stuff like that. I never owned an Ozzy record. Nope.
Okay, well, I'll say you've mentioned it twice now, Rat and Dawkins, and Warren DeMartini and George Lynch are two of the best. Jake trumps them, in my opinion. He trumps them both. And it's funny because Jake was the original guitar player in Rat, who then left Rat to join Ozzy. They got
That's
Warren.
right.
And by the way, which Jake just told me, you may or might not know this, George Lynch had the gig until Jake auditioned. And right in front of George, Ozzy went, "You're fired. Jake's got the gig," and
Imagine
walked
that.
out. So Jake and George are standing there like, "Sorry, man."
Imagine that. But they all three of those guys have that tone, that
You could
awesome
take him-
tone.
One could have easily played in the
Yes,
other.
yes.
All three of them could have played for
Yep.
sure.
Yep. But go ahead, Chris. What do you think? Secret
I mean,
Loser.
once again, like I'm going to be very transparent in whether this makes me a great guest tonight or not. I love all of these songs.
That's okay.
I think
Good.
I think it's a perfect record for me. Once again, I'm also 40 years in on this album, like buying it, pretty much after it came out.
Yep.
I love, like you said, the riff. I love the breakdown. And he's a secret loser. So, once again, it's an upbeat kind of song, but the lyrics are pretty dark. Here I'm feeling my disease or feeding on my disease or whatever it is. I'm a loser. I'm a secret loser.
Yep.
And as a kid in high school, rockers were a little bit kind of, not too widely accepted. Not that I was an outcast or anything, but, sometimes you do feel like a secret loser. And as a 15-year-old kid, when this came out, I kind of empathized. And Ozzy was always kind of one of those heroes for me until I found the other band of losers in fucking James Hetfield and the guys. So I felt there was a real connection with Metallica and Ozzy, not just the tour, but like Ozzy said, I know it was Bob Daisley, but we don't know that at the time. Ozzy was singing what I kind of was feeling,
Right.
and
I got you. Yeah.
he always hit the mark for me. Like he was just like, I was thinking about this after he passed away. I did a talk as Jericho with a bunch of the guys, and it's like Ozzy was just a guy. Like I never saw him as Ozzy. He was just like, And when you meet him, he was just a guy. Like he'd go down to the pub and have a drink or whatever, and he'd fucking, puke on himself. And like there was no airs of what he wouldn't do. And I find that comes across on this whole record. And once again, solos on this thing, fucking hell. Like Jake was on fire, man. Incredible. So good.
Yep.
Song so well arranged. I really like Secret Loser.
Yep.
All right. So Secret Loser, I'm going to echo what you said, Chris, because I heard Gene do it. Now, mind you, Gene hit the rounds as soon as Ozzy died. Interview me about my friend Ozzy.
Yeah.
And he did.
Never mention him once.
Yeah, exactly.
But their paths crossed over the years. And Paul and Gene are like one of the few that Sharon really likes. Personally, they get along great.
That's cool.
But I heard Gene say exactly what you said, that Ozzy is one of the only people that's Ozzy.
Yeah.
When I met him, he was like a painter or he's the rock star. He was always Ozzy. He never changed in highs and lows. And that's true what you just said. Secret Loser, it sounds like a Rat song.
Yep.
I agree with Chris in the lyrics.
Disagree, though.
Oh, you don't think it sounds like a Rat song?
I find it darker than Rat. I just find
the music, not
the
so
chord
much
progressions. I don't
really.
know.
I feel like that could be something off of Out of the Cellar or Invasion. Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
I thought maybe I'm thinking of In My Direction. Maybe I'm thinking of a different song. But there's something on.
Those always more poppy and this is more like. I don't know.
Oh, well, Chris, keep that in mind. What you just did, because that's coming up later on the album.
Yeah, there's a little bit of like finger, like almost shoulder loser. I'm a secret.
Yes.
Like shaking the shoulders.
You can almost do the Carlton dance to it.
Yeah, loser. Yeah.
But see, you're singing it as Carlton and Pierce, and I'm singing as Ozzy, like loser. I'm a secret loser. Like,
all right.
It's hard. It's hard to get behind those lyrics. Loser, I'm a secret loser. What? It's just
what if Ozzy really felt that way? What if, like, even though
you don't want Ozzy to be a loser, Ozzy's not a
he feels
loser.
like a loser.
But he's a badass. Like,
It's kind of like when Gene was singing "My Baby's a Two-Timer." You're like, no, Gene fucks chicks.
Yeah, you don't get cheated on. That's why that philosophy didn't stay long.
Right.
But I will agree with Chris on lyrics. Couldn't ever take my soul because it isn't there to steal. I love that.
Yeah.
Right? That's fantastic. Again, I put the decent solo, which turns into something great. And then I agree with Chris. I think you were mentioning this. That third verse where it's like just like the bass and drum, there's no real guitar in it. I love that way he does it. Yeah. I think that's great. All right.
Let me just interject one more thing.
Yeah.
Even though we're talking about how this album is not what you want to hear from your Ozzy, and you love the first two Ozzy records, don't forget the same guy wrote the lyrics for all three.
Oh, I agree.
So no matter what peppiness there is in the music, Ozzy's still singing the Bob Daisley "Die Ever Madman."
True.
Vibe,
Good point.
right?
Yeah. No, good point. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the one of two Never songs on this album, Tom.
Never Know Why, also known as We Rock for some stupid reason.
I've never heard that.
Dear God. No, it's not. I know it's not. I'm calling it that, Chris.
Oh, okay.
I'm calling it that. Again, we got a really great groove, a really great riff, a really good chorus. And then you throw in the We Rock stuff. I'm like, come on, dude. Like this, now you're really, really pushing the envelope of doing something that you're trying to really, really fit in with the 86, that vibe. Because I think this is a really good song, but you lose me with the We Rock stuff. Ozzy's not an anthem guy. Well, maybe this type of anthem, which I think is too bad because other than that We Rock part of the song, I really like this kind of mid-tempo. It's got some darkness to the groove, and then it's got a nice melodic bridge into that chorus. But you lose me with the We Rock. But again, Jakey's the standout here.
Yeah, I just had to refresh myself how that song begins, and it's a fuking monster riff. Right?
It is. It's incredible. Yeah, it's real heavy. Yeah,
I do agree with you though. I find that it was almost like if Daisley wrote the lyrics for this one, where he wrote something else and Ozzy was like, I don't like that. Just say We Rock. It makes sense. But no, Ozzy was supposed to be like, watch out for the attack. No, We Rock. That's what we're doing. So I do agree with you on that. It's a sore thumb. It's a boom mic in the shot for me.
I love that. That's
because
good.
it is such a well-crafted song. Once again, same thing we're saying every time. And that random bow, wow, wow, wow. And then We Rock. So yeah, if I had to pick a song that maybe was not as great as some of the other ones, that might be in there only because of that.
Right. Me too. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But the verse I think is really good, and the way he sings it as well. But yeah, the We Rock kind of takes me out of the game for a bit.
Nope.
All right, so Never Know Why. I said I thought it was kind of sleazy rock, but but the when he gets to You Never Know Why, huh? I was like, is this Twisted Sister shit?
You never know why. Yeah,
we rock. Yeah, like come on, feel the noise.
You know what?
Like,
I looked up. Any coincidence that Dio did We Rock in '84?
I was thinking the same.
1 year before.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, dude, you didn't know that the guy that replaced you in Black Sabbath did a song called We Rock the year before?
He's a mid-range, but no one go cares, man.
So true.
Again, I think it's a decent song. Like, I have yet to get to something. I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah, I agree. And I would even say a little better than decent. I think it's a good song, but I think Tom really hit the nail on the head. You hear that We Rock. I'm like, you could have come up with something better. I feel that it's probably Ozzy was just like, fuck it, we're saying We Rock. And Nevison was probably like, I've had enough of this guy. Fine, Ozzy, sing We Rock. Sing We Rock as much as you want. No one's ever used the words We Rock in any song ever. You can go ahead.
So true.
It reminds me of a story I'll tell you quickly about,
go ahead.
About Perry Mason, where Zach told me he wrote this monstrous riff, and he's like, this is the one. This is the best tune I've written. One of the best tunes I've written. Turns it into Ozzy. Ozzy loves it, and that's it. My job is done. 2 weeks later or whatever, he gets the cassette of like, here's the finished product. He puts it in his car. He's driving down the road and he hears Perry Mason. And he's like, Perry Mason, Perry Mason. I rolled down the window. I ejected the cassette. I threw it out of the fucking truck. This is what you give me. I'll give you the riff of all riffs. You give me Perry fucking Mason.
That's awesome.
I think, We Rock.
That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Tom, let's get into a nuclear proliferation talk with Ozzy next.
Yeah. Oh boy. Thank God for the bomb. Yikes. So the song starts off with arguably maybe my favorite riff on the album. And you got some of the effects there driven, like just, yeah, that's a killer fucking riff right there. What is this chorus? This is, I'm sorry. This is the most ham-fisted, heavy-handed, ridiculous fucking song. Thank God for the ball. And he's like, thank God for the ball. Like, I get it. I know that's how Ozzy sings. This is just, this one is so bad. The music can't help it.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
this is another one. This is another Perry Mason. I'm sure Jakey was like, that's what you come up with. I will say, like, when you're a kid and reading the song titles, like, and if you're looking at this and there's a Never and there's a Never Know Why and there's a Fool Like You, Thank God for the Bomb stood out for me because that sounds kind of interesting. Once again, Thank God for the Bomb, but then the one that gets me is Nuke 'em, damn it.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah. I was gonna leave that to you, Chris.
Yeah, Nuke 'em. And it's another one of those ones, like, it's kind of, the album is kind of collapsing on the weight of itself.
Yes. Thank you.
But the thing is, like Zeus said, and I don't know, you might still not think this way, but for the previous songs, no matter how cheesy some of it gets, the riffs are so monstrous and the leads are so great that at least there's something, like I said, like you said, the beginning of this, like the riff is fucking cool. It really is.
It's awesome.
So the Nuke 'em goes into the bin with We Rock.
Yeah.
Zeus? All right. Thank God for the bomb. I'm like, typical 80s nuclear bomb. Everybody's talking about this shit. Peace Sells who's buying. Metallica had all this stuff. Like, everybody's like all worried about nuclear bombs and proliferation and all that other stuff. I just put horrendous fucking chorus. What the fuck is this? It just, but here he is. Ozzy's talking about peace through strength under like Reaganomics and philosophy.
Okay, Ozzy.
Like, what the fuck is this? But I'm listening to it now. I'm
The
going,
O'Reilly factor with Ozzy. Like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And bombs are going off, and you got nuclear, whatever.
Too much.
Again, I can't not like this because the music is so good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it's just a terrible chorus. Thank God for the bomb. It's just
Yeah. It's probably another low light for me.
And here's the funny thing. I don't understand this. So I have Sirius XM and Ozzy's Boneyard. I listen to it all the time. They play this song all the time. Why?
Out of all the ones to play, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's called Ozzy's Boneyard, so they play a ton of Ozzy and Sabbath, but good God.
Oh, well. Well, right. Next song.
So we go to Never, which I don't like the fact that there's another song with Never in it because I was getting confusing when I was taking down my notes. But this song is a huge rebound off the last two. I think we're getting back into it here with great riffs, kind of a little like punchy chorus, kind of getting ourselves back on track. I think it's obviously polished. It's obviously that 80s kind of gloss to it. But again, I think Jakey is carrying the load so far. And I think this song's not too bad. I kind of like this chord. Ozzy actually sounds pretty good on this vocally. I think this kind of the melody and the harmonies here kind of suit him a little bit better. But for me, I don't know if the song is that good or if it's just such a nice rebound from the last two duds for me that I kind of enjoy Never.
These last two duds.
Yeah.
I love the chorus of you're never too young to die. No, you're never too late to die. What is it?
Yeah,
it's never
too late, I think.
Never too late to die. There is a part right before the solo. You're never late to cry. You know you were born to die. Yep. And then he goes, oh God. And then it goes into solo. That's old school Sabbath Ozzy. Yep. Like Black Sabbath, where he sounds like when he's tracking that first Black Sabbath, he sounds to me like Satan is waiting right beside the vocal booth like this. And Ozzy knows when he's finished singing that he's going to hell.
Yeah, exactly.
I find a little bit of that, whatever. Oh God, no.
Yep.
And I was like, wow. I love that part. I always loved it. So I think this is a pretty killer song. And it does have a little bit of this kind of forlorn, Ozzy's going to the pit when he's done singing it.
It's a good track. What I was saying was it's kind of a nice rebound from the previous kind of two lowlights. Two duds. Two duds. You heard me say, yeah, exactly.
It's not Cry Tough. It's not a dud.
No, it's not number one bad boy.
Please, can we not bring up Poison in this thing?
Cry Tough.
Oh, Jesus. Anyway, you can't come up with a different song title than Never.
Yeah.
I know.
You couldn't do anything else. And the other one, Never Know Why. Why don't you just call that last song We Rock? Oh, because Dio just did it. That's why. That's probably
100% right.
Like it shouldn't. It annoys me, but whatever. I think this is a pretty good song. But I get why Ozzy said before we started the review that everything felt and sounded the fucking same. Because this song, I feel, sounds repetitive of what I've been hearing on this album. It does.
Yeah.
Jake kills it. Ozzy's vocals.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of. Just think of what Diary of a Madman and Blizzard of Oz. Now, right. I get it. That's Randy, where it would intertwine, but all of a sudden you'd hear organs play and then a guitar riff, and then it changes to something else. Every one of those songs just had a lot of different stuff going on. This is straightforward rock. Here's a great album. I got 9 good killer songs. Here you go. Enjoy it. But it's not deep like those albums. That's the difference. This
song should have been called Born to Die.
Oh, there you go.
Much better chorus, a much better title, much more interesting. I find this song always reminding me like, is it about the Antichrist, about how he thinks about himself? You were born, but either way,
right.
Born to Die, it's used throughout the whole song, and it's so much more interesting than just Never, especially with the fact they have a Never Know Why on the record.
I like that idea. Yeah. Makes sense.
Right.
For the final release,
change it to Born to Die, please.
There you go.
But Zeus, you brought up a good point. I think the difference is the era. In 1986, a lot of bands are just making like disposable pop records. 1980 and 81 with Blizzard and Diary, those albums had so much depth to them. Like there was so much more to them than this. In this era, bands are just pumping out shit. And I don't mean shit as in like crap. I mean just mean stuff. Stuff. That's what I meant. Let me clarify. Yeah.
What, you don't think, I don't know, any way you slice it is deep on Asylum?
It's a fucking great song. It's a great song.
I like it too, because he caught the eye of a hurricane. Da-na-na-na. I love that song. But it's not deep. It's like, here you go. Here's another
That's
track.
exactly right. It came out in 1985. Disposable pop album.
Yeah. What does he want to put in her hornet's nest? I want to put my.
He wants to be his queen bee. I want something to eat your hornet's nest. That is the worst than the log in the fireplace.
Worst.
Calling a woman's like spot a hornet's nest.
That's almost as bad as calling a woman's hornet's nest a spot.
Yeah, there you go. I'm trying to be polite here, Chris. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Speaking of the next track, because we Tom and I have a running gag about this, but let's go to the next track, please.
Lightning Strikes. So we talk about songs titled with lightning strikes in them. The best lightning strikes ever is Aerosmith from Rockin' a Hard Place. Fucking
good call.
Love that song.
The non-Joe Perry record, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Weird album. Yes. Another incredible riff, incredible opening to the song, incredible groove. And then the chorus. Ozzy, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
I won't rock it all night. Rock it all night until, I mean, it's like, come on, dude. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I know it's 1986. I get it.
Yeah, I'm not giving him that it's 1986. I find
go ahead.
This might be my least favorite song on the record.
Really?
Oh, really?
Only because it's the most stock.
Okay.
Bear with me. When I was writing riffs in my high school band around this time, the idea was you would write a riff that would be like this, like dun 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 dun
up and down.
I don't need to be able to play a Jakey Lee riff. That's not what I should be doing.
That's a good point.
Rudimentary guitar, and like you said, won't stop rocking all night. Here we go. It's only rock and roll. Yeah, baby. And then, of course, Jake plays a ridiculously cool solo and stuff. So I'm not saying I don't like the song. I'm just saying out of all the tunes, if we were hanging out and I was like playing songs on shuffle, I probably wouldn't choose this one above any of the other ones because I like the other ones better and I find them more interesting.
Okay.
They did used to play this at Tampa Bay Lightning games, which was cool after they scored a goal. So that was all right.
Okay.
Oh, cool. But they had choices. They could have played Dawkins' version.
They could have.
Kiss's version of, what is that? Is that from Monster?
That's with Tommy Thayer. That's a freaking good song.
They could have played the Loudness
No, it's on
album.
Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom.
They could have played the Loudness album in its entirety.
Oh, they had an album called that?
Called Lightning Strikes, yeah.
Oh, God. Well, I can't say anything. You bring up that album. Tom and I had that joke. I can't do it.
Can't do it.
I can't do it. I get in trouble. But the Aerosmith version. But that makes sense.
The best version.
Me and the boys are ready for a rumble.
That's such a that album kind of sucks, but that song,
that song is good.
So good.
I remember they had a video for that, and
it's horrendous.
Yeah, it's horrendous. But we didn't have MTV. We had Much Music, and they'd play the Power Hour, which was 1 hour of metal videos a week, and that was one of them. And the week that I taped, I was able to tape it because I didn't have it.
Yeah.
So I had one 60-minute Power Hour, and that was one of the songs that was on it. I've seen that video fucking 50 times because I had nothing else.
I love the fact that we're talking about the Aerosmith version of Lightning Strikes instead of the one that's on this album.
So, who looked like or worse believable tough guy in a gang?
Oh, yeah.
Steven Tyler in that video. Horrendous. Like being like a greaser tough guy. Dude, who fighting a gang and Steven Tyler's on the other side?
Who's the least
lid's gonna blow up in Hell's Kitchen? Ooh.
Who's the least believable tough guy? Steven Tyler in the Lightning Strikes video or Paul Stanley in the Lick It Up video?
Little Eric Carr,
Vinny Vincent. What are you talking about? Come on.
Yeah, Vinny Vincent, good call.
I remember who was it that used to say that? Peter McNabb in the early 70s in the Bruins. He's like, I used to play with Stan Jonathan, like O'Reilly and this. every time there was a line brawl, every guy on the other team grabbed me and started punching me in the face because nobody wanted to fight me. That's what would happen to Vinnie Vincent. Everybody would be going after him. But anyways, Tom, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, Chris, you said there was a video for this for Lightning Strikes.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a concert video. It's a concert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a live. No, but
Yeah.
they released it to MTV or whatever. It's
It's just a performance video. Nothing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's not. Yeah, it's just a performance video.
Okay, he's not dressed up as like Larry Hagman or anything like the other one. There's no Aussie
Mrs.
oil.
Roper, it's Mrs. Roper again.
Yeah.
Yeah, the official video is just a live performance.
Did you actually talk about the song?
Oh yeah, we did. We talked about Ozzy.
I talked about the song.
No,
Okay,
I did
so
too. Yeah,
then
I know
let me get my thoughts in real quick.
Yeah,
I
go
love
ahead.
this fucking riff. I think the verses are great. I think the chorus is great. I love this. I think this is cool. Like,
there you go.
that era type of music. The solo is so fucking good. And then just like I was talking about Ultimate Sin, he goes right back into the solo. It's very eerie, kind of like.
Yeah.
And it almost sounds almost a little like Crazy Train or Halloween theme when he goes back into it. When you listen to it.
Yeah. Actually, the Halloween theme, that's a good call.
Yeah. And then you had
good
Ozzy
call.
a couple of times doing like 80s shit. Like he's like David Coverdale going, ow! When's he do that? Does he do that on Bad Boys?
Bad Boys. Ow, 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 ow.
Yeah, that's what it
I
sounds
also
like.
I like the opening line. Won't you listen? Because I'm at it again.
Yeah.
always
Yeah,
kinda
I like that.
Oh, here he
Oh,
goes
so
again.
what
He's
I-
at it
yeah.
again.
What I don't like is when he goes, I am what I am. I just think of Popeye, and I'm like, this is so
stupid.
Yeah, I am what I am. Okay, Ozzy. Thank you. But all right, let's go to what would have been almost the title track. Here you go, Tom.
Killer of Giants. So this is kind of like the big kind of sweeping epic song here, very dramatic. We're talking about nuclear war again and the lyrics again. Whatever. Ham-fisted, I'll use that phrase again, Chris. But this is a great song.
Yeah.
I like the epic sweeping feel, the build up, the drama. I like how there's a section of it kind of near the end where it kind of speeds up and it gets back to where it was. I think Ozzy sounds really, really good on this. And I really just like the arrangement, I guess, for lack of a better word. I think this song really stands out because there's really nothing else like it on the album, Chris.
Yeah, I agree. This is, at the time, actually in the next record too, Ozzy kind of excelled at these slow building monstrous ballads. If you go to Revelation, Mother Earth, to Die of a Madman, to Waiting for Darkness. This is the album's version of it, Killer of Giants. And I think it was a mistake by the record company to not release this as a single.
100%.
I think it's one of the best songs on the album. In a lot of ways, maybe the best song on the album. A great song title that evokes a lot of curiosity as to what it means. When I asked Jake his favorite song to play, I think he said Killer of Giants was his favorite. They played this 2014, 13 when Zach was in the band for a tour. So Ozzy knew it was a good tune, but yeah, this is a great fucking tune. And I think it should have gotten more steam and more of a spotlight because it's pretty perfect for what they're going for. Very dark and brooding. And once again, speeds up, great solos. Ozzy sounds great lyrics. So 2 thumbs up for me.
All right, so Killer of Giants. The acoustic opening was, I think, I saw Jake said somewhere along the line that was 2 different songs.
Oh, wow.
He
Yeah.
wanted to do that, and they just combined it with Killer of Giants. He's surprised that they put the pieces together. I'm sorry, but that fucking opening lyric is horrendous.
If none of us
pressing if the button is pushed, I'm like, that's like a 4th grade fucking essay lyric. Like I wrote that in 4th grade in like the early 80s.
It's pretty sophomoric.
Oh,
if none of us believes in war.
Just horrendously written.
It's like if We Are the World wrote a song about
Yes.
nuclear war, this would have been it.
The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Listen to peace, everyone.
It's like, if the button is pushed, there'll be
nowhere to run.
But then I like the way it builds up.
Yeah.
The music, I think this is almost probably the best music on this album. This is the closest that Ozzy comes to music from the first two albums.
Yeah. I agree.
yeah.
This is
Totally.
different.
Yes.
This
I agree.
has theme. There's a lot of, interesting stuff going on with the song. I think the chorus is great.
Yep.
It's just, the beginning lyrics, it's just, I could see myself when I was young, like a little fourth grader listening to this, be like, yeah, that's so fucking deep. If the button is pushed, we
push
would
the
know where to
button.
go. But
Oh.
What are we going to do, Zeus? What are we going to
I
do?
know. Like,
What if they push the button?
it's just kind of whatever. But anyways, I think the music stands out. I think this is his best composition, and it actually makes something deep. And it could have been Killer of Giants as a title, and it would have worked. I don't know.
They've got some great, very goth moments during when it goes, bow, wah, bow, bow, bow.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, like, this album's accused of being shiny and smooth and glossy. There's not a lot of keyboards on here, which was always kind of a cornerstone of Ozzy's songs. Even when we did the Crazy Train cover that we just released,
Which
we
is
put
awesome,
a lot
by the
of
way, Chris.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Yeah.
We put a lot of the goth keyboards in there as if Don Airey was in the band. That's what Rich and I were thinking. Like, what if Don Airey was in Fozzy? What would he add to this? And I find finally we have a little bit of that in Killer of Giants.
Yeah, I love that's why I think it sticks out. But
Yep.
anyways, let's go to the second to last track.
Fool Like You. Absolutely fucking love the opening track, the opening guitar in this here. Whatever Jakey is doing here. Down, and then boom. And then it just this song was an absolute friggin' revelation for me. I had never heard this song before until we started getting ready for this. This is probably the song I've been listening to the most. I think this song absolutely crushes.
Yeah.
It's darker, it's heavier. Ozzy sounds great. It doesn't have a wee rock chorus in it. It's got a great solo. I think this, in pairing this up back to back with Killer of Giants, I just think was a genius. One thing we talk about a lot, Chris, on ARC is like track listing, track order. I think this album's kind of fucked up.
Agreed.
I know there's only 9 songs. This is like a terrible track listing.
I agree.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, just to go on what you just said, just on the track order, I mean, the biggest song on the record is the last
It's
song.
the last one, too, yeah.
Which is what you never want to do.
Right.
I probably would have put Killer of Giants last in the number 9 spot. I would have put Shot in the Dark second for Secret Loser. But
yeah.
Fool Like You.
Yeah.
It is, once again, it's a song that when I see the song title, I'm like, I'm not super excited about it, but man, it is a great song.
Yep.
Like you mentioned, the harmonics at the beginning, another just stomping monstrous riff.
Yep.
And it's got that melodic Ozzy feel to it that's not even in the chorus. It's kind of afterwards. A fool like you. That's true. Na 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 na.
Yeah.
And then it kind of builds up. Bam, bam, bam.
Awesome.
Like, so yeah, this is kind of a hidden gem that should not be buried. Once again, like you said, Tom, 8th on the record.
No,
this should have been in your face, right on the first side.
Yep.
But it doesn't matter nowadays, like you said. But back then, it could have had a better spot on the record. But it is a really good tune. Probably one of my top 3, if not my second favorite.
Okay.
All right, so Fool Like You, again, another great riff by Jake. I think this is a fun, cool song. The solo is great. This is the first song besides the opener that I actually noticed the drums on it.
Okay.
I thought the drums were pretty good on this.
Okay.
If you go back and listen, I think they stick out a little bit more because we really haven't talked about any of the music other than just Jake.
But
I think Randy does a good job on this one.
It's a good rhythm section. Phil as well. There's a lot of cool little bass parts in here, little licks.
I think this is a good song, and it's a great way to lead up to the last track, which is next.
So the biggest track on the album, we were just talking about with Chris and Shot in the Dark. I mean, this is the song everybody knows. Even if you're not an Ozzy fan, even if you don't know this album, you know this song. Incredibly melodic, super poppy, super catchy, great riff, great chorus. I mean, Ozzy is checking off all the boxes here. There's no surprise why this thing was a hit, why people still listen to it now. I just think it's undeniable. Incredible riff. I mean, this is what every 80s band that was doing this type of music wishes they had written. And I feel like as big as the song is, I feel like it should almost be like bigger. Yeah. If that makes any sense, because I think it's that good, Chris.
It does make sense. And the reason why it wasn't bigger is the same reason why, Turn on the Night wasn't bigger. It was Kiss. It was Ozzy. They were looked at as
Good
relics
point.
from the 70s.
Good point.
Y&T, they could only go so far because they were old guys. But I think this song is so dark and moody and groovy. And like, once again, what the fuck is he doing? Bow, wow, 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 wow. Like, is that harmonics? Is it a whammy
Right.
bar thing? Like, what kind of a trick is that? Which I would have loved to see him do it back to the beginning, except for stupid David Drainman fucking jumped in 8 bars too early and fucked it all up. But
I can't fucking stand that guy.
Jeez, he's one
Dear
of yours
God.
too, Mr. Boston.
What did I do?
Lived in the same city as David Draymond.
Fuck that guy.
Like they hit the nail on the head with this. It's a perfect Ozzy song. We were laughing about, or you're kind of commenting before about how he sings and like stalking the night, something else I can't believe in. Like it just really, even just hearing it, it starts off like it's one of those songs, and we can discuss the video, but it's meant to be listened to while you're driving down the road.
Yeah,
with
okay.
the windows down and your hair blowing.
Hey, I don't have any.
Well, you got a goatee now.
Oh, I got a goatee. That'll
your-
blow around. Okay.
Your goatee is blowing.
Okay, fair enough.
It's a song that really fits the vibe and makes you feel something, and you can see kind of the lyrics in your head. That's the way I always kind of felt it. And because it is the last song on the record, I wish it wasn't, but because it is, it's like it really ends on a high note.
Yep. Yeah, good
All right.
call. Yep.
So Shot in the Dark is the only one that's written by Ozzy and Phil Soussan. It went up to number 10 on Mainstream Rock, 68 on Billboard.
That's
I think
big.
That was his first single to chart.
That's big for that. You're talking the Billboard Top 100 with like Duran and like probably Jody Watley at the time.
Yeah, Jody Watley
was around. That's a big deal.
Yeah. It was originally composed by a band called Wildlife, which had Phil Soussan in it and Simon Kirke of Bad Company.
Yeah.
When he joined the band, he brought that to Ozzy and they reworked the song. And even Wikipedia wrote, and Ozzy, quote, supposedly reworked the lyrics. There was a conversation about like not making a lot of compilations because Ozzy didn't really like the song, but I mean the sound to the song. But I fucking love this. It's always been one of my favorites, and you're so right. It's the video that gives you that vibe, Chris.
Yeah.
The way it just like, and I'm assuming that's L.A. they're driving in, right?
Yeah. That's actually Dweezil Zappa is the in that
friend
video.
of the show, Amit's brother, right?
That's
There you
right.
go. Yeah.
Yep.
I love Amit.
And our aforementioned chick with the beautiful bum. She's in
Oh
that
my
video as
God,
well.
she's fucking gorgeous. We'll get to
Smoking.
that. But I love the musicianship on the bass, the drums, the guitar. It's awesome. And another great Jake solo. The video is just, I think it might be, for me, 80s Mount Rushmore video.
Wow.
For metal and hard rock.
See?
I remember that vividly. And that girl and her ass and them driving, they're picking up. Mama Celeste comes out and waves to them goodbye. This Italian looking lady in another muumuu. And then they get into the convertible. And then they see the guy. Remember the guy on the billboard? He's got the album is covered.
He's like,
and
he's kinda-
he spotted them and they spotted him. And I'm always like, what the fuck? Ozzy performs and Ozzy does that like Booker T spinneroonie he tries to do as though it's a stage move and it's Ozzy. Horrendous. It took him like 2 minutes to twirl
I know exactly
around.
what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
Right?
he's
And
not-
then
he's
Jake
not-
does it like 15 miles an hour faster than him.
Yeah,
where they
Ozzy
both
is not
spin
Kip
around.
Winger.
No, and he's got like
he's not one of the Jackson
sequins
5.
on. It's like white shiny things on, and he's like barefoot. But I remember it feels like jamming on his bass. It just looked awesome. Ozzy comes down from the side, and when that Ozzy, like that fucking like Eddie like monster that he's in the chair.
It's him. It's him as the dragon.
Yeah, it just
That's him as the dragon.
I love
from
it.
the
And the
cover.
girl, as the video's going on, is having migraines and she's turning into this demon woman, whatever.
Awesome.
And at the end, they're like, and then all of a sudden Dweezil's there for some reason. But then at the end, like, they see her and she's the billboard and they're like, what happened? Is that her? Whatever. I just thought it was so different. It was so cool.
It just goes to show though, and this is the secret to longevity in show business. Like all you need is one.
That's right.
And, Ozzy had Bark at the Moon. And keep in mind, too, though, they didn't get as big. Phil said that, Soussan, on the Ozzy tribute we did. This was the beginning of the second act of Ozzy's career, the MTV era. He got played before, but you look at, fucking Bark at the Moon, and it looks like a Hammer film from the 60s. This is Ozzy's rebirth into what was happening now. And all you need is one. That's it. Yep. Kiss was the same. Kiss had a few, but once Tears Are Falling hit, that buys you 2, 3, 4 years more. Ozzy never had another hit like this throughout the 80s. Didn't need it. It got him to the 90s and to the No More Tears record. And like you said, you remember this because MTV was so important at the time. Whether you hated this whole album, nobody fucking cared because you had one song that was on MTV, Dial MTV, whatever you want to call it, and that sustained him for the next 5 years afterwards. And he didn't even need it anyways, but that gave him enough fire to continue forward. And that's what you need.
And he found Zach. And then all of a sudden he did videos for like Miracle Man, Crazy Babies.
Yep. But those weren't the same as this.
But he was able to put out stuff just like Kiss was able to put out stuff.
And then No More Tears and Mom, I'm Coming Home come around. And now suddenly 86 to 91, it's only 5 years. And he had a couple in the middle of minor ones, but he had big hit, and that's it. You're swinging from vine to vine. And this gave him a lot of notoriety and opened up the door. I bet you there was millions of people who never paid attention to Ozzy ever that suddenly became fans because of this song and this video.
Yeah, it allowed him to stay afloat until the next record, until the next record.
To start legit playing arenas, like big arenas, which I don't think he did on the Bark at the Moon tour.
Yep.
All right, true. So that's Ultimate Sin. Any final thoughts before we just rank these songs?
No, I was just going to say, once again, reiterating what I said before, this is one of my favorite Ozzy records. The fact it's a little bit underrated always kind of surprised me. I never really realized that it was. And then when I realized that it was, I sang to the heavens how great of a record this was to anybody that would listen. And there has been a resurgence for this, especially with Jake kind of returning with Back at the Beginning. And people realize like these are two of the forgotten albums because like Zeus said, Jake, I said this to him on Talk of Jericho, he had the hardest job out of any Ozzy guitar player.
Oh, absolutely.
Randy was the first, and obviously it was hard because Ozzy was kind of down and out, but they were just starting this thing. Zach took over from Jake. Jake had to take over from a legit hero who revamped Ozzy's entire existence. Mm-hmm. And he probably had to deal with a lot of that animosity the same way that Newsted had to after he took over when Cliff passed away. So he did such a great job of Bark was a good bridge. This one was Jake's album to me. And this is the one where he went, here you go, man. This is what I can do. And I think to this day, it stands up to all the Ozzy records.
Yeah. I mean, for me, again, first time listening to this album start to finish. Never owned it, never listened to a lot of these tracks. I'll say it again, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody, including our guest. I'm just not a big fan of Ozzy's vocals at times, especially with some of these types of songs. But I love 80s hair metal, pop metal, glam metal, whatever you want to call it. And I think the songs, the verse, chorus, verse, solo, everything, I think are most of them are phenomenal. And Jakey is next level. Just some of these songs don't translate well with Ozzy singing them. If you gave these to, like I said, to Stephen Pearcy, to Don Dock, and to Paul Stanley, it's probably one of my favorite albums ever because I think some of the songs are that good. But for me personally, Ozzy just can't nail some of these songs vocally from me.
Well, and I see what you're saying because you've only heard this once. If you had, like I said, 40 years of these songs live in your head, you couldn't imagine anybody else.
You couldn't imagine. Exactly. Yep.
I mean, I just love Ozzy's voice.
That's fine.
You know what I mean? It's like you guys trying to get me to like Rush. I don't give a fuck what you do. I can't get it.
I respect that.
But I would hope you guys get Geddy Lee's voice is a lot harder to understand than Ozzy's voice.
Yes,
right?
I'm not comparing them, but
I think Ozzy's a fantastic singer. But Stephen Pearcy does it for me. I love his voice.
Me too.
But it's not a great voice at all.
No, it's not.
It's unique
to do. Yes.
It's you know the moment you hear his voice.
That's right.
Yes. The moment you hear his voice.
Exactly.
That's right.
And that to me that sticks out. So for me, I love Ozzy. I love everything about like his personality, the choices he makes, his singing. I think the music that he puts together. He's just Ozzy, and everyone loves him. So I will give him that. Let's quickly get to the songs and rank these. Tom, you can go first. Then we'll go to Chris, and then I'll go last.
So we got 9 songs. I'll go first. My number 9 for me is "Thank God for the Bomb." Chris.
God for the bomb. You never know why. Okay, I gotta agree with you. I'll say "Thank God for the Bomb." Not because I think it's a bad song. I just think it's not as good as the others.
Okay.
I'm going to go with "Never Know Why."
Okay.
And I like it.
Yeah. That's my number 8. "Never Know Why." Chris.
I'll go with "Never Know We." Yeah, only because we already trashed it, so I can't go back and forth.
Okay. Okay.
So that's "Never Know Why."
Yeah, number 8 for Chris and me.
All right, so I'm going to go "Thank God" on 8.
Okay, "Thank God for the Bomb." Okay.
This is hard, man.
Oh, you know what? It's tough because I like 8 and 9 were easy for me because I think those 2 songs are just not great. But yeah, this is tough for me. Number 7, I'm going "Secret Loser."
Oh,
I'll go "Lightning Strikes."
Okay.
7 for me is "Never."
Never. Okay, that's my number 6 is "Never."
All right, I'll go controversy. "Ultimate Sin."
Ooh, wow. Okay.
6 for me is "Secret Loser" in the Carlton Dance.
Okay. 5 for me. I don't know the others. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. You guys are probably going to curse me out. 5 for me is "Killer of Giants," even though I love it.
"Fool Like You."
Ooh, okay.
But like I said, you were talking about 9.9s and 9.8.
Yeah, it was exactly this very fine line separating these.
Yeah, so for 5 for me is "Killer of Giants."
Okay. 4 for me is "Lightning Strikes." Just that opening riff.
4 for me, "Killer of Giants."
4 is "Fool Like You."
Okay, 3, "Ultimate Sin."
I got "Never" at number 3.
Okay.
3 for me is "Lightning Strikes."
"Fool Like You" at number 2 for me.
I got "Secret Loser" at number 2. I think that's a trifecta, isn't it? Or it depends what Zeus does.
No, 2 is "Ultimate Sin" for me. I haven't picked
Okay.
it.
So the trifecta at number 1 was we all have the same.
We all that's an ARC rarity. We all have the same number 1 shot in the
Say it
dark.
on 3. 3, 2, 1. Shot in the dark.
Shot in the dark.
Yeah,
That's right.
It's well worth it, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty rare, though, isn't it? To have all of us have the same favorite
yes.
song.
The only time this has ever happened is if we've done an album that has like a singular song on it, like "Shot in the Dark," which is rare.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and here's my favorite part. We get to say to Chris Jericho, what makes you rock hard, Chris?
Well, definitely Paul Stanley and spandex and a chainmail shirt. Why do you ask?
I knew that was coming.
Okay.
This is so funny because I'm a big documentary watcher, and I'm also a huge Arnold fan, and I had no idea that there was this great documentary on Netflix called Arnold. It's a 3-part series, and the first part is his bodybuilding, second is acting, third is politics. I don't know how this slipped through the cracks. The only thing I can think of is
Is it new?
It came out 2 years ago.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't know if it wasn't advertised or what, but it is fucking like I am an Arnold. Not just I love Terminator. Like I've done a lot of his mindset with my life and my career. And I didn't even know it existed. And it's finding this really cool gem to where I'm watching it very slowly because I don't want to finish it yet. But it's really, really good. If you guys haven't seen it, even if you're not Schwarzenegger fan, it's just a great story about the American dream. It's really, really well done. So I would go with that. It's called Arnold and it's on Netflix.
Nice.
Did you hear Bill Burr do the joke about him? Bill Burr, excuse me, do the joke about him. And like,
what'd he say?
Came to this country, fucking rocking a flat top and gap teeth. This motherfucker's a great man, and all these whores are trying to ruin great men. This fucking lady, I'm sure she knew his wife, and she throws himself. He's like, yeah. And the way he does the joke is fucking
Bill Burr.
hilarious. And he's just like, this guy came to this country. He can't even speak. He still can't speak the language.
Still can't speak.
Like, can you go to Austria and become the biggest movie star?
Right, exactly, right? Yeah.
You do that and then run and become a governor there? Like, he's like, this guy's a great man and he got fucked because of whores. It's a fucking great joke. It's a great joke. I'm sorry, but go ahead, Tom.
No, for me, so I got a series off of Netflix, a new series. I found it by mistake because I flip between series and movies and documentaries and stuff. Never heard anything about it. I just put it on. I saw a little brief description. It's called The Madness. And it is one of the great, like, thriller, suspense, twist and turn things. This black guy works for CNN, ends up going into the cabins in the woods to like write like a book, stumbles upon a neighboring cabin, stumbles upon a crime scene, then stumbles upon the hitmen that were involved in the crime scene. Next thing you know, he's the person of interest. He gets targeted. He gets wrapped into this wild friggin' cat and mouse, wild goose chase thing. It's so good. It's so well acted, so well written. I think it's the first season. It's called The Madness. And I don't want to spoil too much other than that kind of main thing. But if you're into like cat and mouse, twist and turn conspiracy shit, it's excellent. Excellent.
All right. Cool.
So well acted and written.
All right. So looking for something to watch. I saw a clip on this on Reels and they found it interesting. It's a movie called Margin Call. It came out in 2011.
Okay.
So it's got Kevin Spacey, Paul Bettany, Jeremy Irons, Zachary Quinto, and a bunch of other guys.
Margin Call.
And even Demi Moore is in it, Stanley Tucci. And it's all about the crash, but it's like hypothetical. And it just shows this country and this guy in this big, huge conglomerate bank. And Stanley Tucci picks up. This is right before the crash happens. Like their books are fucked. Like they're going to lose everything. Yeah. And you can see from 2 hours how this billionaire monstrosity bank, like who gets fired, who gets things, what do they do? Can they get out of it? And all these board members like stabbing each other in the back, and they're so fucking rich. And the owner flies in a helicopter, and
wow,
can they get out of it?
Wow.
It was an excellent movie, and a lot of great actors in it. And I didn't know what was going to happen at the end, and it's really good. It's called Margin Call.
Never heard of it. Wow. Okay.
I've never heard of it either, but it was fascinating. If you like that stuff, like the crash stuff in 2008 and all that stuff, and what happened and how it was really done. And they got great actors in it. So it was a pretty good movie. Anyways,
nice.
Was that. Chris, what do you got coming up so we can make sure that everybody goes besides seeing you in Vegas with quarantine? Where else?
Yeah, that's the next big thing, man. We're playing the Kiss Landlocked in Vegas. We're playing on Saturday night before Kiss, which is going to be amazing, which is so funny, like how this whole thing started, just a pandemic thing for a couple of guys to do. And now here we are opening for Kiss. We have a new song and video that will be coming out November 1st for quarantine.
Oh, nice.
So we just filmed the video for that in Las Vegas. And if you saw the Fozzy Fall in Line video, it's done by the same guys that made that. So, it's quarantine. It's time to take it to the next level. And we figured perfect timing considering we're opening for fucking Kiss themselves. So that's kind of what's going on that end. So it's going to be a cool couple months coming up for sure.
Yeah. And you're finally coming at least closer to me.
Yeah.
Our neck of the woods. You're coming to Manchester, New Hampshire at the Jewel Club, which is pretty wild, dude. So we just saw Ace not long ago in Tupelo Music Hall in Derry, New Hampshire. Manchester's actually closer to me.
Great.
So I think it's a weeknight show, but there's going to be no excuse. We're going to find a way to get to see you because usually when you come to New England,
been bitching about it for so long.
Yeah,
you guys never come to the Northeast,
and now
it's
you're
always
coming.
the Midwest. So we got to do.
So
it's awesome. It's our first Northeast run for quarantine.
Yeah.
So we're excited
Can't wait.
to see how it goes. You'll get to see our full set. Like obviously with Kiss,
right?
It's a shorter set. We can't play, but we probably could because we go on first. So yeah, we're doing Love Gun. Deal with it, Paul.
Yeah, right. That's awesome.
So we'll be excited for that. So lots of cool stuff going on with quarantine and
awesome.
We play when we can. Everybody's so busy, but the brand is growing and we're the world's greatest non-makeup 80s Kiss cover band. What more do you want?
I love it.
I'll tell you,
Chris.
And we're not joking. Like from our groups that we talk about, our listeners and shit are like, yeah, I'm going to go to the thing, but I could care less about Kiss. I'll see Quarantine.
That's cool.
I'm not joking. It's an insult.
We appreciate
to
that.
People really do that, and mind you, we give you love here, so everyone knows.
Well, we appreciate that, and we worked hard to get on that gig too. It took a while for us.
I remember us talking about that.
Yeah. But persistence paid off, and now we just have to deliver. And I know we will, because we're a great rock and roll band, and we're going to go extra crazy
It's gonna
nights.
be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Chris.
Man.
He is the great Chris Jericho. Always love having you on here. So forgive me for forgetting about your Poison appearance. That's how bad that album is.
Number one bad boy.
But we're glad you came here for Ozzy Ultimate Sin. We know you love this album. We always love having you here, buddy. So thank you so much.
Look forward to the next one. Thanks, guys.
All right, man. Be good.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, Tom, that was the great Chris Jericho. Now we get to do our part, and we're going to rank this album compared to the rest of the stuff we've done. So let's always start where we go in the beginning, and that is album cover.
Yes. So my top 5 album covers right now are number 5, Rage Against the Machine, Blizzard of Oz, Purple Rain, Master of Puppets, Diary of a Madman. And you can go on our website at shoutoutloudcast.com, by the way, and see all of our rankings. We only read the top 5 because we're not going to read 69 albums to you. So feel free to check those out on our website.
68, actually.
68, and then with this will be 69.
No, 68 albums, because one of our reviews was a countdown of albums.
Oh, Jesus. God, that seemed like 100 years ago. Yeah, you're right.
We stopped doing that because we're like, we ain't doing that shit.
No. All right. So as far as the Ultimate Sin, the cover, love that kind of crazy artwork. Love that chick's ass. Love her hair, the nuclear explosion, Aussie dragon lizard thing. I'm going to put this cover at 15, Zeus.
Ooh.
Yeah. I like it.
Just underneath Among the Living.
That's right. Yep.
And
What about you, Booker?
Black Tiger.
Yes.
All right, Tom. So my top 5 are Diary of a Madman, Appetite for Destruction, Blizzard of Oz, Hotel California, NBC TV special. That's Elvis. Is this making my top 5 for, again, with Ozzy? No. But I'm going to put it at number 12.
Okay. Wow.
Rising and above Pyromania. I think it's a great album cover, and I fucking, like Chris says, I love it. I love those skinny girls with tight asses. Oh my God, that's my fucking thing.
Top 20 for us. Nice.
Yep. So that's Ultimate Sin at number 12 for me for album cover, Tom.
Okay.
Let's go to the actual album.
Okay. My top 5 albums right now at number 5, High and Dry, Shout at the Devil, Purple Rain, Moving Pictures, Master of Puppets. I like this album, but I don't love it. You know, you heard me talk about Ozzy and his vocals, et cetera, et cetera. Musically, Jakey's the king. But with that being said, I'm going to put this at 47. I'm going to put it right below the Final Countdown and right above Hailstorm.
Okay. So Ultimate Sin goes at 47 for you. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So my top 5, I have Purple, Blizzard of Oz, Automatic for the People, Hotel California, and then Elvis's NBC TV special. Where am I putting this? I'm going to put this at 38, underneath Wasting Light and above Apple.
Wow, the Foo Fighters beating out Ozzy this time around. All right.
It wasn't you. The Foo Fighters album was way down before.
Yeah.
That's from when we did our change and everything fucking.
Oh God, everything changed. Yeah, that was wild.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. So Tom, where can people find us?
So if this is your first time listening to us, we are usually an all Kiss podcast, dropping Kiss related episodes every Saturday. However, we do the album review crew episodes once a month, where we bring in a special guest like Chris Jericho or Eddie Trunk, and we review a non-Kiss album. So you can find us on our website at shoutoutloudcast.com. That's you can find all of our episodes, all of our rankings, as I referred earlier to that with ARC. And you can, of course, find all of the links to our social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Threads, Blue Sky, et cetera, and our email address at shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. And we always like to say that we're a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network of shows.
Okay. I always just point people to the website on ARC because the website has all the rankings. It's fantastic. And it also has our new merch. So check that out. Check out our friends page. You can look up like people like Chris and things like that. It's great. Tom, we like to end on famous last words.
Are you just too cool? No, you're just perfectly cold. And what goes around still comes around. I think it's all summed up and down in a fool like you. That's true.
Like you. That's true.
Yeah.
You're just too cool. You're just perfectly cool. Something like that. I don't know what the fuck. I forget the lyrics.
Settle down, Ozzy.
Ooh. All right. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm cringing to say this.
I know you are.
If none of us believe in war, then can you tell me what the weapon's for? Listen to me, everyone. If the button is pushed, there'll be nowhere to run. Oh. Giant sleeping, giant when it, dude. Then the song picks up. Just get rid of the beginning opening lyrics.
Yeah, it's rough.
Hey, Chris Jericho, Tom, Loudcaster, Kiss Army, Aussie Tards, Jakey Lee Tards, Killer of Giants Tards. Thank you.
Guys, you're the best. Thank you so much. Always a blast having the great Chris Jericho on here. Aussie Tards, nuclear proliferation tards. Zeus, as always, my friend. Thank you.
Peace out, Girl Scout.